Now right now it's about 2 o'clock. Usually when I make a video I start filming at 9 o'clock, but today I got some stuff done. I'll get to that in a minute, what I actually did work on. And I got a couple hours left in the day, so I figured why not get started and why not make a video and get ahead of the game. And man, dude, Pepto looks so good. I'm not gonna want to give those wheels back.
And now, you're watching the Flat Earth Conspiracy Theorist of YouTube. Welcome to Bowie Vision.
So what is up, you guys, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. We're gonna get right into it. So like I was saying, this morning when I got here, I kept working on the 4-door. There's a couple spots that needed some attention, so I gave it that attention it needed, and now I spot primed it, and then I'll go through and I'll sand the entire car and make sure it's good to go. So right now that primer is drying, and I wanted to use my time wisely and get started on the right-hand drive conversion over here. So the plan is, for right now, I'm gonna start just working on the clips since I don't actually have the car yet. But like I said, if I can get ahead of the game, start pulling all of this stuff off, all the brake lines, all the booster, the fuel return line, every single thing, because I wanna make sure when the car gets here, I'll be ready for it. This will be all good. So I wanna get some of the stuff pulled off on the firewall, and then in a little while, I don't know if it's gonna be in this video or not, we'll focus on the dash. So I got a nice bin right here. I'm gonna keep everything really organized because you guys know I got a bunch of projects going on at one time, and let's just get busy, man. So as of right now, we are definitely making some pretty good headway. Got the brake booster pulled out. I really wanted to get all the brake lines pulled out. And also, that reminds me, I wanted to say that pretty much everything that's still in here, I'm gonna be using from the other car. For example, the rear brake lines, these are gonna stay here, and I'm gonna get those from the other car, and then eventually it's gonna come to the 40/40 valve that came with the right-hand drive clip. Because of the way the master cylinders orientated, the lines need to come this way, where in the US car they go that way. So it's gonna basically be US rear brake lines, and then it's gonna go to the JDM lines, and then they're gonna go to the corresponding directions and all that stuff. So same with the power steering stuff. I'm gonna be using the US stuff over here, and then it's gonna just come over here, and that's gonna all be the same. And then I'm trying to think what else. And same thing with the fuel return line and the sending line for the fuel. That's gonna all come on the left-hand drive stuff because it's really all the same stuff. So we're gonna have to use the subframe from this car, obviously, because the way the steering column is set up, and we just gotta keep moving forward. So the next thing I wanna do, just keep working. So we got the dash out in one piece, and I mean everything's going pretty smoothly, and every time I do this there's always something that I forgot. This time it just so happened to be the antenna on the back of the radio, and that's just right here is a disconnect to allow the dash to come out without having to get to the back of the radio. So all that's in there and all that is just fine. And man, I'm trying to think what else, anything that I can mention. There's just a whole bunch of 12s along the way that gotta come out. There's a couple different spots. There's here, for sure right there, and then some on each side, and then the one on the side over there. You just gotta keep chasing them down. Woo. You just got to keep chasing down all those 12s, make sure all the electrical connections can come off, the fuse box can stay. I didn't really have to take out the steering column, but I just like to get a lot of this stuff out of the way. We got to keep moving. I'm going to get everything ripped off because the main goal is to be able to have this completely stripped so that way we can start extracting the firewall. Man, so we are looking really good, and for just 3 hours later at the end of the day, thinking that either I can go home and do nothing or I can get some stuff knocked out to get ahead of the game. That's really what I wanted to do, and I really think that that's what I did. So the next thing that I have to do, and this will be in the next video for the right-hand drive conversion series, and I don't know when that next video is gonna come because I don't even have the car yet, but future content is for sure gonna be the track-inspired 4-door build. That's gonna keep on coming. But anyways, like I'm saying, the next video for the right-hand drive conversion, I'm gonna show you how to find all the spot welds, how to completely attack all of that, and how to extract the dash. We still got to get the windshield out of there, obviously, and then keep it moving. So hopefully by then I have the car, we can get this firewall out and eventually get that other car torn down to put this firewall in the car. It actually is a pretty simple process. A lot of people are intimidated by something this big and they feel like they're completely cutting a car in half, but in reality, if you look at, so say this rail right here and this rail right here, this is going to be from the car, and no matter if the car is right-hand drive or left-hand drive, these are the same right here, this one and this one. So the only difference is the steering column on the right-hand drive is over here, the steering column on the left-hand drive is over here. So the actual frame rails of the unibody car, if that makes any sense, they don't know or care whether it's a left-hand drive car or a right-hand drive car. And also at the factory, they make these so they can use them on either or, because that just makes sense for a production standpoint. So we're just taking out this firewall, boom, bang, swapping it with the other firewall, and that's how you have a right-hand drive car, and that's how you do a right-hand drive conversion. Of course, there's all the wiring involved, and we'll get into more of those details when those come. Today, I just mainly wanted to get this torn down and really get ahead of the game, and I definitely think we accomplished that. Man, Pepto looks dirty. And speaking of Pepto, the other day I sold the Sparko seats out of there, so those are all gone. Suspension's looking as good as it's ever looked, even though I haven't used it yet on the road, so I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but I'm sure it'll be really cool and just fine. And when it comes to the end of the day, I like to try to situate the shop so that way it's gonna make sense and be nice and easy for anybody to walk by. Even though it's just me, I like to make sure that it's nice and comfortable for me while I'm here. But then also, at the end of the day, I just gotta shut it down and make sure I can shove everything in here so I can shut the door. So it's situated pretty good. So coming up on Project Pepto, I gotta figure out what I wanna do for seats. I'm probably just gonna go with the OEM Integra seats because honestly, those are some of my favorite seats ever. And I had ITR seats, the Recaros, in the past, and I just don't like how big they are. I don't like feeling like I can't see behind me, and it kind of limits my vision while I'm driving. I know they're real cool and everything, but I don't know, I just don't like them as much. So we'll have to see what I do as far as seats. And also, in some of my videos before, some people had commented saying, why am I getting rid of all this high-end stuff that I have? And the fact of the matter is, I don't feel like the car is mine unless I get rid of almost everything that the car came with as far as some of the options like the seats, the wheels, the suspension. I want to make the car my own. This car was such a good purchase, and everything that it came with, like all the performance parts, that's all going to stay the same, but all the styling cues of the vehicle, the wheels, the seats, the suspension, all that stuff, I wanted to change that and make the car my own, because I never want anybody to be confused and think that the car that I'm driving was built by somebody else. The car that I drive, I feel like I have to be the one to primarily build it. And I'm talking as far as anything that you see, styling cues like I'm talking about, that has to be on me. So that's why a lot of it's changing. Man, look, we got the bulls out there. Bulls are back, baby. So anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put information down below for the merch. If you guys like the shirt, I really appreciate it. Anybody who's ordered a shirt, your shirt's already shipped out. And I plan on making very soon some kind of an e-commerce thing, whether it's Big Cartel or I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm just gonna have to look into it. But right now, it's a little bit bougie. Just check the description below and that'll give you some directions. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video, comment, subscribe, do all this stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'm out.